Hello and welcome back to MSX time on the Chest of Obscurity. And next on the list, well, I have two versions of it, but of course I'm going to show the other version, and I'm probably going to do another version of it. So there it goes. Another classic by Konami. And it's one you have heard of on a different on a different port, the Game Boy port. If you've never heard of this game, it pretty much is shooting Tetris. The Game Boy version is about the same as this version, except a wee bit slower. So, unlike the Game Boy version of this port, in your configuration you can choose whichever ship you feel like you want. Like, whatever you feel like. I don't know the details about this game, but all I know is, to me, it's just basically shooting Tetris. Except that, unlike Tetris, in which the blocks are falling down, it is basically your job to shoot them up. And just like Tetris, make sure not to let them come in contact with you. Now the other version I have is the Game Boy port. And yeah, by the way, only one life, so. It's randomized, by the way. So the only version I found different besides the, this being on MSX, as you can tell, sometimes when I'm controlling, it doesn't feel like it wants to be controlled. I found Quarth to be very different just because unlike Tetris, the only thing you would really have to worry about is clearing them as quick as you can without having to worry about you know, them dropping towards you. You just have to shoot them and make sure you clear them in a set time. And as I said, it's all randomized. So I have been playing quite a bit of this in my spare time with between my Let's Plays when I'm doing off and on camera. What I find interesting about the MSX is, well, a lot of the games never made it over here, per se. They made it to different ports, but, you know, the MSX was basically, I'll say it was a curious animal because that's really what it was. A lot of games never made it over here. It's almost like with the Game Gear. Now mind you, this game came out in 1990. Whereas the last game I showed you, Akumajo Dracula, it constantly just, it's really just infinite. There's no real change to it, it's just infinite. So Quarth is, like I said, a weird Quarth is a weird beast. Like, this one looks like it's that straight up Vic Viper. Like, this is Vic Viper Mark II. But yeah, during 1990, you know, it was a weird time with video games. The MSX was no different. I think the hardest thing for the MSX was, you know, it just never really had a chance to shine over here. It's like with the Game Boy. It had a chance to shine. Same thing with Game Gear. I'm pretty sure if... I'm pretty sure, like, with any other console that was out back then, if it had a chance to really just... to be given a chance to... excuse me. To be given a chance to shine a bit. I'm pretty sure it would have outdone the Atari Lynx. I mean, that's what I honestly think. It would have outdone the Atari Lynx in a heartbeat, since it had one of those kind of games that we know, but it was totally different. The only difference I have with this version than the Game Boy Advance version, the Game Boy version rather, is the controls aren't as finicky as you can tell in this version than in this version. As with the MSX version, as you can tell. Yeah, the MSX version has some very funky controls. It's like, oh, you go right. It basically has this. Even though I'm using analog or D-pad, it's much less to the ire of what the hell is going on with this thing. But this game also features the most strangest, and I do mean the most strangest, of things to ever exist that shouldn't be there. So, Quarth is like kicks, you know. From what I can tell, it is like kicks, you know. You basically have to fill everything up, and yet it has a Tetris feel to it because you have to clear everything before the blocks actually come and hit you. Before, you know, collision. But aside from that, I thought I'd show a bit of what I had on this emulator. Since really it is an underrated console. So join me next time on the Chest of Obscurity when we look at the Game Boy. Since I have a few titles that I want to show anyway. And the Game Boy hasn't gotten much love these days, so join me next time when the Game Boy gets its time to shine. And don't worry, I will show more MSX on this channel. Just don't expect it to be a Let's Play because it's weird enough as it is. So, yeah, there you go. However, if you want to suggest me trying out an MSX games, please feel free to. I don't mind. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot more going on than one would expect from this. I've been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi, and this was a look at the MSX. With such titles as Bomber King, aka Robo Warrior on the NES, Akamajo Dracula, otherwise known as Vampire Killer, otherwise commonly known as Castlevania, and Quarth. See you next time for more of the Chest of Obscurity. Stay tuned. More weirdness right after this. Thanks for watching.